Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock trade ideas for the week of March 16th. Today is Sunday, March 15th, and we're going to take a look at 3 trade ideas that we exited last week, 3 more that we're currently in, and 2 new ones that I'm looking at. All right, we're going to start off here with United States Steel. Okay, we got into United States Steel with puts here. The trade idea was on February 23rd, and I actually should have taken advantage of this move right here, the 3rd and 4th. Didn't, thought it was going a little bit further down, and then it backtracked, and I started losing patience and thought, okay, I've been in here long enough, 10 trading days, so I got out here, and we made a small profit. I think it was like 16%, but again, I am going to start moving towards, unless there's a specific setup, a specific measurement that I see, which in this case, I thought it was a retest of the low, but then it really started, dogging it. But I'm going to start looking at trying to get out a little bit sooner. My own personal, I know that you can, if you could ride this like this, but there's a lot of ways to get back in the trend to the downside. My own personal inclination in terms of my personality, I love getting out in like 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 or 4 days, and making a nice profit margin, and and getting out and turn around and trying something again. But we will we'll see how this goes. And right now, again, we got out on this a little longer than I thought it was going to take, and got a little bit of profit, so that was good. All right, the next one we're going to take a look at is Yahoo. And again, Yahoo did a similar type thing. We got into it here, thought it was breaking down, snapped back, had to sit back through this, did not stop us out. Then we got this downdraft here, and again, thinking that we're going to get a little bit, kind of come down here and close this gap, and the stock has just refused to collapse. So you had a chance to collapse here, didn't do it, pulls back, had a chance to collapse here again, didn't do it. So I said, okay, enough, I'm out. And, again, only made like 5% profit, on the trade idea. It was 12 trading days. So again, way too long. And so some of these things just aren't moving right now. But again, when something doesn't want to break, that's a sign to me that, maybe it's trying to turn and trying to head the other way. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you could still make the argument that this is, it is in a downtrend. I mean, there's no doubt. And you could, draw a little trend line in here and put something like this and say, well, if it breaks on down, it's looking pretty negative. But it's had a couple chances to do that. So it kind of makes me think that maybe it's going to try to turn here. So we'll see. Anyway, not in it. We are out of it. Adobe. Saw this little, we were getting some divergence on Adobe. I think it was 2 out of 3 indicators were showing negative divergence, and had this breakdown move here. Actually bought the puts here. Got a nice return with this move and said I took it and out on 1 day. So actually was very pleased with that. 30% profit in 1 day. I'll take it and move on. Now, I'm going to come back to this because I think this could be doing something else. And so now I want to move to 3 that we're currently in. GoPro. This one's interesting. Got in, again, calls on the 12th. And I think that this has got a good chance of going. And it's continued to move here on Friday. I was actually hoping it would be a little bit stronger and break this downtrend. Let me blow it up for you. I think we are in a downtrending wedge, okay? So now some people, I've noticed some people have, on StockTwits and various other places have said, oh, it's a downtrending wedge that's negative, it's going to break down. A wedge like this is bullish, okay? When you have a wedge that's in reverse like that and it's rising, a wedge like that, it's ending, that's bearish. Okay, so right now, this throw over, the way this is acting, I am looking for this to break this trend line and pop. Now, how far will it pop? We'll go to, like maybe 45. We'll go up to here to the 55-day moving average of 50 or stop at the top of the calendar channel. You could see where there's been some other sequences that it's done before. I mean, like here. Now these are somewhat versions of what I call Turtle Soup Plus One setup, the Linda Raschke, Larry Connors setup that they published back in the mid 90s. But it wasn't quite a perfect setup, but it still worked. And notice how this was kind of the entry day, and then you got 3 days. Okay, here a similar type thing with this low coming down below. Again, the setup wasn't perfect, but you kind of got an entry day here and 3 days and got a pop. So what I'm kind of watching, and I've seen that a couple of times, like back in here, you had a low and you broke below the low, you came back above it and got the entry, and then 1, 2, 3 days. The third day you got the pop. You kind of dogged it in here. If you would have used this low as a pure stop without being a close below this low, you would have stopped out. But if you used it as a close below the low, you would have stayed in, and then look at the nice result you ended up getting. So a little more risk, but you stayed with the trade. So right now, I viewed this as an entry day, and I'm kind of looking for 1, 2, 3 day sequence at a minimum. So I'm looking to see for a couple more days here. Would like to see what kind of pop we get out of this. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, with a rising wedge that's bearish, it will go to the bottom of the wedge. With a declining wedge, it doesn't always get to the very top as a measurement move. Now, you're going to get a move out of it. It's just a question of how far it's going to go. So right now, I'm looking for that pop. And boy, you know, the volume comes into this stock, 7 million, 4 million there, 5 million, and 15 million here. You look at the volume here, 6.4 million, 13 million, 11 million, 14 million. So what are we seeing here? About 4 million, and yesterday 6.7 million. So the volume's coming in on this second day. We're going to see if this thing's going to run. So that's what we're looking for on GoPro. Let's see, Delta Airlines. This is another one I think is getting ready to turn. Got a couple of days, got this close above the 10 in here. Thought it was acting very bullish early on, and then it sold back down. So we'll see if it continues to move. We got in, let's see, when did we get, let me see. Let me look at something real quick. Delta, the trade idea. So on Friday, it was actually just right at the opening, I believe, is when we got in with calls. So right in here. So we'll see. I'm looking for this to push up, break this trend line, swing to the high side. We'll see what kind of return it gives us. The next one is FireEye, and this is also one that I think is acting bullish. Now you've had this downtrending long-term 233-day moving average. Again, I'm using Fibonacci numbers versus just the standard 200-day, you know, and I use 55 instead of the 50. That's just what I like to stay with these. So we've got this strong uptrending 21-day moving average here. Okay, we got in when it broke the high of Thursday's high, and then of course it sold off on us. So a little bit of a setback here on Friday. We're in with the calls on the trade idea here. We'll see if it can continue the action. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a fourth wave to have pulled back, and I think that it may have completed here. It's about 38% from this move, and so I am looking for a continuation to the high side here, and probably come up and at least test these highs, if not further, and top of the Keltner channel. So that's what I'm looking for on FireEye. The next two I want to look at that are trade ideas for tomorrow and this week. Actually tomorrow probably. This one looks like it's getting, like I'm looking like a reversal here. And I know that all the moving averages are trend to the high side, but 2 out of my 3 indicators are bearish divergence. Okay, not getting it on the demand index, but on DI plus and on RSI, I am seeing it. And so I saw that, and then really I've got this kind of a reversal action in here. And so right now I'm looking for a setup, you know, to buy some puts. I'm thinking we might get a good shot down here towards the 55, close this gap. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on VIPs. We'll see if we get it. And then the next one is Adobe. So I'm back with Adobe. So Adobe, we had some divergence on this move here. We've pulled back. And now we've come back up and we've gotten a couple closes above the 10. I like this kind of swing, this action in here. So I'm looking for Adobe to continue an upswing now. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see if we get it. I'll have an entry up above this point. And by the way, all the details on the trade ideas are on the Trade Ideas webpage on the website. You need to be a subscriber to get access. It's simple to do. First name and email to subscribe gives you access to that. And there's another page, I think that's password protected on it. And it gets you to download the free PDF I've got for you, the 5 essentials. All right, so that's it on those. And I'm also, I don't know if I have it up. I'm also watching SanDisk. I think SanDisk may be getting ready for another move down. And let me pull that up. So I'm watching this because I still think it's kind of corrective action in here, chopping sideways. I think we've had 1, 2 strong third wave down here. And so I am watching for a setup for reversal. I don't see anything at the moment, but that is on my watch list. So I won't pass that on to you too. All right, that's it for today. Everyone have a great Monday. Tuesday, I will be back with you on Tuesday night with a market update. So if you're watching this anywhere besides my website, head on over there, check out the posts. And if you're, check out yesterday's post about Apple and the Dow. If you're not a subscriber, again, as I mentioned before, just subscribe. First name and email gives you access to the Trade Ideas page. So until next time, stay focused, follow your plan, and trade without fear. Have a great week, everyone.